Hello everyone. Today I deliver a lecture on prokaryotic translation process. Starts with a introduction. Before actually going to prokaryotic translation process, first we know the steps including central dogma. So what is a central dogma? A central dogma deals with the different processes like DNA replication, transcription and translation process. In short, DNA replication is a process of synthesis of DNA from DNA. It is called DNA replication. In this process, the DNA polymerase enzymes, they work for the replication process. The replication occurs in S phase of cell cycle, and DNA replication process is different in prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic system. Transcription process deals with study of mRNA. It involves the synthesis of mRNA, or all types of RNA is synthesized by the process of transcription. In these methods, the main key enzymes called RNA polymerase, which synthesize the tRNA, mRNA, rRNA, all the types of RNA molecules. Transcription process occurs in different both prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic system. Let us see the translation process. Translation is a process deals with production of proteins. As you know that the proteins are the biomolecules, it's synthesized during the translation process. A precursor of protein molecule is nothing but the amino acids. There are 20 different types of amino acids. Nowadays, 2 more amino acids to be invented, that is selenocysteine and the pyrrolysine. In bacteria, the translation process occurs in cytoplasm. The prokaryotic translation process is coupled with transcription and translation process, as shown in figure. So here is the diagram of central dogma. Let us see a DNA. This one is DNA. The synthesis of DNA from DNA is called DNA replication process done by DNA polymerases. Synthesis of mRNA from DNA, mRNA, called transcription, done by enzymes RNA polymerases. Synthesis of proteins from these mRNA, called translation. So the translation is nothing but decoding of nucleotide sequence of mRNA into a protein, called translation process. As I mentioned earlier, that is the transcription and translation in case of prokaryotic is co-coupled reaction. In eukaryotic, the mRNA is synthesized in the nucleus and it is transported towards the cell cytoplasm. Then the translation process occurs in cell cytoplasm. But in case of prokaryotic, when there is a synthesis of mRNA, at that time the ribosomal subunits will get binds at the ribosome binding sites and they initiate the translation process. That's why in case of prokaryotic, the transcription and translation process both are coupled reaction. So the translation process, a translation process, what it includes? The prokaryotic translation process is divided into following steps. That is, requirement for translation process, main translation process, which includes initiation, elongation and the termination process. So first we see what are the requirements for the translation process in prokaryotic system. mRNA. The mRNA present in prokaryotic is the polycystonic types, which contain many open reading frames with the start codon and the stop codon as shown in figure. So this is the structure of mRNA in prokaryotic system. 5' end and the 3' end, there are 4 open reading frame, that is open reading frame 1, open reading frame 2, 3 and 4. Each open reading frame have its start codon and its stop codon. Ribosome. In prokaryotic, the ribosomes are the 70S types, which divided into 50S, which is a large subunits, and 30S, which is a smaller subunits. The 30S units contain 16S rRNA sequence, or a part which is complementary to the Shine-Dalgarno sequence present in each mRNA. There are some exception is there. The units of ribosome, which is shown in figures. Let us see the structure of ribosomes. Okay, this one is the 50S subunits and this one is the 30S subunits. It is also to be called 70S subunits. A 50S subunits, which is larger one, which contain 5S rRNA and 23S rRNA. As you know that the ribosomes are the ribonucleic particles which containing both RNA as well as proteins. A synthesis and assembly of ribosomes occurs in nucleolus. And the 30S subunits, which associated with, contains 16S rRNA sequence. Okay. So next requirement is tRNA. First we see the mRNA, then we see the ribosomes, and last tRNA. tRNA is the adapter molecule, help to bring amino acids. A tRNA associated with amino acid is called activated tRNA. So let us see the structure of tRNA molecules. It have the most important aspects of tRNA is that it contains 3' OH group and 5' 3 phosphate. But in figure there is a single, only shows single phosphate. Okay. A 3' end of tRNA is a very special one which contain ACC sequence. At this end, the amino acid is attached. Apart from this, the other sequence is called anticodon loop as shown here. This tRNA structure is called clover leaf structures. So delivery of amino acid on tRNA. As you know that I have mentioned earlier, tRNA is a amino acid carrier. So how the amino acid is attached to 3' end of OH group, that is the ACC sites. A tRNA without amino acid added is uncharged tRNA. For the addition of amino acids on tRNA molecules become charged. This done by amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzymes. There are near about 20 different types of synthetase enzymes for 20 different types of amino acids. So let's see the reactions, that is dash this 3' end OH group is there, amino acyl tRNA synthetase enzymes is there. This one is the amino acid which is to be added on these tRNA molecules. Okay, in presence of ATP it convert to AMP with the help of magnesium ions. It add amino acid on tRNA molecule, that is uncharged amino acid, uncharged tRNA molecule becomes charged tRNA molecule. So let us see the main translation process in prokaryotic system, which mainly involves 3 steps: initiation, elongation and termination process. Let's start with the first stage, that is the initiation process. Step number 1, initiation process. The initiation process starts with the binding of small subunits, that is 30S ribosomes to mRNA on ribosome binding sites, that is Shine-Dalgarno sequences. These are the special kinds of sequences. It is also called SD sequences. The binding sites on ribosomal unit, that is 16S rRNA, is complementary to the Shine-Dalgarno sequence present in mRNA. In prokaryotic, each and every mRNA have these SD sequences or Shine-Dalgarno sequences, which is complementary to the 16S rRNA. It is a part of 30S ribosomal units. So there is a RNA hybridization conditions, that is 16S rRNA and mRNA, both are the RNAs. That's why it is called RNA hybridization condition. For the initiation of translation is done by initiation factors, that is in case of prokaryotic, the initiation factor 1, initiation factor 2 and initiation factor 3, which play important role in different steps. Initiation factor 3, that is IF3, first binds and do not allow to become the 70S complex. Initiation factor 2 bring first normal formal methionine amino acid at tRNA and attached on mRNA at codon AUG. initiation factor first avoid formation of complete complex of ribosome, that is 70S complex. The initiation factor 2 GTP form can only bring the initiator tRNA. Here we see the role of initiation factors, that is there are three kinds of factors, that is IF1, IF2 and IF3. Each and every initiation factors have the specific role. As I mentioned here, initiation factor 3, it have the major role, that is it avoid 70S complex, and also initiation factor first, it also avoid to make a 70S complex. Then the initiation factor 2 GTP forms can bring the initiator tRNA. That is, in case of prokaryotic, the initiator tRNA act as FMET, that is FMET tRNA, that is formulated methionine tRNA. Okay. The large subunit of ribosome comes and the bind in such a way that the factor binding site will be fit with first tRNA and switch on its GTPase activity. All these initiation factors are the small g proteins. They have the GTP activity, okay, that may be converted into GDP, or the GDP is further converted to GTP. The GDP is released and the initiation factor 2, initiation factor 1 and initiation factor will be released from complex. The formation of 70S complex of ribosome is completed. This indicates that the steps is completed, that is initiation step is completed. Okay, let's see the diagrams how the initiation process occurs in prokaryotic system. So this one is the 50S complex of the ribosomes, okay, and this one is the 30S complex of the ribosomes. The first amino acid which brings, that is the FMET, okay, which associated with that bringing molecule is nothing but initiation factor 2, which is associated with GTP, okay. This 30S complex is associated with 16S RNA complex, that is makes the complementary to this mRNA. The initiation factor 1 and initiation factor 2, they inhibit or they avoid to become a 70S complex. And this way, when the 50S complex is associated with this 30S complex, then the initiation process will be completed and the initiation factor 2, initiation factor 1 and initiation factor 3, all these factors are the released from these complexes, okay. Only there will be a 70S ribosome is present and it starts with elongation process. So prokaryotic elongation process. For the process of elongation, it required the elongation factor thermostable. In short, it is also called TFTS, thermostable factors, okay. It bring all the types of tRNA molecules for translation process except FMET tRNA molecule, because FMET tRNA molecules is only bring by the initiation factor 2. The elongation process involves 3 sub-steps, that is delivery of amino acids on tRNA, peptidyl transferase reaction, transamination reaction. Let us see one of the first peptidyl transferase reaction. The activity is done by the 23S rRNA subunits, which is inbuilt capacity of 15S ribosome units. In this reaction, the covalent bond, that is the peptide bond formation, takes place between two amino acids. The translation always occurs from N terminus to C terminus. Note this point, because the translation process is always occurs to N terminus to C terminus. Translocation activity. This activity is done by a translocase, that is elongation factor G. It shifts the one codon forward. So here is, I summarize the diagram. Okay. So this one is the 50S subunits, and this is the proteins where it exit from these sites. Okay. That is E sites. That is E site, P site and A site. There are three different sites which is present in large subunits of ribosomes. A site is called amino acid entry sites. P site is called peptide elongation site, and E site is called empty site, where the nascent tRNA molecule can be released from E site. Termination of translation process. The termination of translation is done by terminator proteins that recognize, or which is more commonly called as releasing factors. Okay. The translation terminates when the stop codons comes. There are three main stop codons, that is UAA, UGA and UAG. The ribosome complex stop on stop codon, but the ribosomal complex was not released until and unless it required the release factors. There are two types of release factor, that is release factor 1 and release factor 2. The release factor 1 recognize UAG stop codons, and the release factor 2 recognize UGA stop codon. And there will be a termination of translation process. Here see that the diagrams, the release factor 1, that is it binds and release the proteins, that is it separate the 30S subunits and 50S subunits, it separate the mRNA and the protein molecule also. Thank you.